Hey, welcome back to Made Up of Wires. What show are we on? I don't even know. Made Up of Wires, where we're decompiling Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You can go to student.z.dev to learn more about the project. I was looking through the Git history, and Gamester is rocking it with the Saturn decomp, so that's coming along. I haven't looked at that at all. I don't know anything about the Hitachi SH2 architecture or instruction set at all. I know that it's strange, at least different from what I'm used to. And so maybe I'll spend some time looking into that and see if I can contribute. That would be interesting. I know a lot of people are interested in the Saturn content. I don't know if it's worth many people's time, but as a curiosity, it's definitely interesting. So what are we working on? We're working on Olrox. I did submit the changes for the split and the deduping just last night, and it looks like I forgot to add some config for our deduping tool and some other things. So that's in PR now. Hopefully it'll be in later today, and then we can keep going. So there were two functions that I started working on. I actually haven't finished either of those, which is pretty atypical. Usually we get through them pretty quickly, but these I just haven't been looking at them on the side, and so I have nothing new to report there. But what I thought we would do is look at the main Olrox functions that we had been working on. PlayStation's about 97%. PSP is not quite as close, if I remember correctly. It's high 80s, maybe? No, it's 93%, not bad. So I think what is missing largely is getting the correct variables in place and doing some other stuff, and that's a little boring. It's mostly me staring at the screen, trying to figure out what I would like to do and how I would like to go about reconciling some of those variables. So I'm not going to do that right now, but what I thought we would do that is related is look at some of the functions in here that will not have been decompiled yet, things that are outside of the common functions, and see if there's anything that we can find, or alternatively look for the any entities that are being created here and look at those functions as well. So set step, get side to player, those are common. One of the interesting things actually, when I was looking at the Saturn diffs, it seems like the Saturn has a bunch of symbols, and so we're seeing symbols in the main game engine and other places that we haven't seen before, which is pretty cool. And so we get a not just an idea of what the original names for these functions might have been, but along with that comes like what the purpose is. And sometimes we just, like this function right now, I've left just as funkus, which is the default automatic name. This we would probably call the Olrox entity function, or entity Olrox, when I finally add a symbol to it. But for now, it's just that. And so some of the inner functions that we don't know names of yet are interesting. So I see here that we have a create entity from entity function. I'm going to start at the top and just search for that. That looked like it was the second one. So what we're going to do is look at these entities. We can see what function is going to be associated with that entity by looking at the list of entities. We can add breakpoints to that to see if we can tell what it is in the game, and then we can start decompiling that. So let's get in there and start working on it and see what what this might be. And so if you're new to what we're doing in this project, or how I'm doing decompilation, I use decomp.me, which is an editor that allows me to share the code that I'm decompiling. Allows me to upload some assembly and shows me what my assembly is currently, or what my code is currently generating, what the assembly my code is currently generating. So let's look at that. We're going to go over, and I use Vim as my console text editor. I don't have to use Vim. I just have used it for a long time and I like it. And we're going to go down to unknown 31. And so here we have a little surprised how these were aligned by, we use Clang format to format our C code. But here's the PlayStation and PSP related functions for this entity. We don't know what that is yet. And so I think I use DuckStation as my emulator because the debugger mostly makes sense to me. So I'm going to fire that up. Give me 1 second. I plug in my computer. I lose Spotlight search for some reason. When is that starting up? Doesn't look like it. DuckStation always has such huge updates. I don't know what those guys do, but they get a lot done. All right. And let's see if I can share that. I did not restart my save state, so I'm going to do that. So this is right outside Olrock's room. When we go through the door, that overlay is going to be loaded. It's not terribly important to put breakpoints in first. You get to choose. You're an adult. You do what you want. If you're not an adult and you're a kid, guess what? When you're debugging, you get to do what you want to. So I'm going to pause this here. I'm going to add my breakpoint, and I get the address from the automatic name that gets generated for the function. That name is the VRAM address, which is the address that ultimately will get executed. So we put that in there, and yeah, I think we'll start. We could add a couple. Sometimes I add a few, but I'm just going to do the one now because that's what we're looking at. So I have to unpause. Let's see if my controller is working. It is great. I used it for a week or so. And so what we're looking for now is the emulator will break or pause when we get to whatever that function is, whenever that function is called. And so whatever Olrox is doing or causing to be done to invoke that that entity, we need to trigger that somehow. And so sitting at the chair, we know that the chair's not going to do it, but I dislike that Olrox invites you to sit down, and then when you do sit down, he still attacks you anyway. But what are you going to do? I do like, actually, that you can destroy the table. Oh, okay, so we just hit that breakpoint. So whatever Olrox is about to do, or whatever he's about to create, we've hit that function. And so usually this is more of an art than a science. Every frame this function is going to get called. And so we get 30 frames a second. To see any motion or movement, we have to go through quite a few frames, and every single frame we're going to have this function called. So basically I just hit spacebar until I see something that's happening. And what's nice here is that you can, that's nice. So this looks like the pillars. And so my guess is, and I may or may not be confirming it, but there's actually going to be 3 of these, each its own unique entity and called along the way. I'm going to disable that breakpoint. We're going to see the pillars come up. I used the Castlevania fandom wiki to get an idea of what these attacks are called. Sometimes I don't have a good name for them. Let's see. It calls them energy blasts. I don't know if I like that name, but I don't have a better name, so we'll probably go for it. So I'm going to uncheck that breakpoint, and we're going to pause again, and we're going to see these energy blasts come up. And I want to see them one more time. I'm going to pause it in the middle of them when he does this. And I like to say I'm not by no means the best Symphony of the Night player. I'm not a speedrunner. There we go. Are those skulls? They are. That's pretty cool. So we'll call them energy blasts. And I'm just going to make a comment here. And then we'll keep going and find the next one. So that tells us a couple things, though, as well. When we get to case 11, we know that that is what he's about to do. So something will either call set step 11 or increment the step until it gets to 11. So eventually we can start creating enums for this as well. I'm not going to do that, but that also helps us identify what some of this other code is. And if actually, sometimes with sound effects, give it away. We can go over to the sound effects. Thunder explode. Okay, so this one would not have necessarily told us what it was. Alright, so let's go to the next one, which is unknown 30. And we're going to do the same thing. One function up, grab that address, go over to DuckStation. This, I think, is one of the more fun parts, but it's also, it's time consuming, and you don't always get a hit as quickly as we just did. And so we may have already missed whatever he's about to do. It may be in his second form. Spoiler. He has a second form. It could be an attack that, for whatever reason, did not get programmed in. We'll go to the second form and see. It's possible as well that there are some attacks when Alucard's flying that that it could be this beam attack. He hasn't done that yet, but I think we found that before. Okay, so none of this is triggering it. Let's go to it could be part of the death animation as well. Let's do that. We'll beat him and see if there's anything that happens there. I can't really die, so I'm not terribly concerned about the damage. I could just cheat even more than I already am. Okay, so he's falling over, and we never triggered it. So let's go back, and we'll load again. I do want to just make sure that I have the debugger going correctly. So let's do this. Let's fly up and see if this is one of his vertical attacks. Okay, so it might be. So we're going to do the same thing. I could probably disable this now, but let's go down and see. You can make it quite a ways in a frame. So he's moving his arms back. Okay, so this is his like wave attack. And yeah, there's no other. There's another comment in here about what this attack is. Sorry, I'm reading the fandom wiki. It's not the best, so we can call it what we want. I guess I'll call it like an energy wave. Hey, Heavy Metal Mixer, good to have you back. Did I discover any leftover animations? No, not yet. So let's call it that for now. And then we'll continue on and find the next one. To E, we know what that one is already. That's the portal that he creates above his head. To D, we don't know what that one is yet. Maybe you do. I don't know what that one is yet. There have been quite a few decomp milestones hit in the last couple days. Snowboard Kids is finished, and Twilight Princess, there is a portable build that I think extracts assets from your original game ROM. And that's something that I will at some point want to do. We've built some tools, primarily Zynamo, who is our running the project, for extracting assets from the game files, and we have other tools that are used for reading ISOs and other things like that. The way that those are written, though, I don't feel like is good for building a library out of to do this at runtime. So eventually we need some way to be able to pull those files from the ROM or load data from the ROM into certain places at runtime. And I may look into that and talk a little bit about that later. Not later today, but later in general. Okay, so we have our new entity. Let's see if we can trigger that one. Oh, we found some of these, the after image, the skulls. Actually, I don't know if we found the skulls. So again, I'm not seeing anything yet. Let's kill him and move to the next phase. So I talked a little bit about this at the beginning, but Olrox brings in a bunch of other entities, which makes it look like originally he was supposed to be able to spawn a bunch of different characters. Either that or we didn't hit anything there. Let's restart. Or they're just left over from the stage, copy paste from the stage. Okay, so we just hit it, so it's something he does right away. Let's slowly go through and see what he might be doing. Actually, I'm going to undo this, breakpoint, turn it off, and then we'll see. Okay, so bats. Didn't we see bats before? Let's turn it back on. I wonder if it's the purple outline on the bat. That is possibly a separate entity, and I don't know. Let's try to kill just the purple outline bat and see. Oh, once they get to him, they're all purple outline bats. Okay. So we're going to get rid of all of them. Okay. By bats. Re-enable that breakpoint. Still there. They might not be destroyed. They'll only be destroyed after they're far enough off screen. So I'm gonna. So we're at. It's possible that they. Okay, so they did. I like the Star Trek phaser noise. You will generate bats again eventually. So to get rid of all the skulls. For reasons I can't quite understand, I'm unable to Throw my secondary weapon. Okay, so I accidentally got him into his second form. He was not going to spawn any bats there, so let's go back. I just want to make sure that it's not something about the first set of bats. He seems to be in a jumping loop. Okay, so we hit it again. It's possible that he's spawning bats again, but let's see. Yeah, he is. Okay, so it's bats. And this was 2D. Um, 2C we know is the Olrock's after image, so we don't need to do that one. $32, we don't have that yet. Let's see what else, other ones are in here. 30 is the energy wave. We had that one already. 2E. Does the portal have that already? Oh, we're back at the beginning. Yep. Okay. So my guess then is that this is just Olrock's in his human form, and we still need Olrock's in his true form. So let's see if we can find this last one. And we'll keep going. What other... Well, we'll see. Could be, actually, let's do this. Let's kill him. Could be part of his death sequence. Yep. Okay, so this is possibly the pieces falling. We are going to have to step through this one and see, because it's going to be a pretty short sequence. It could just be the true form itself. And that may make sense. We can look at how... Let's unselect it and see. If it's still there, it's probably the true form, yeah. And especially if after this is complete, let's see if it's still triggering. It's not. So it looks like it may be just the transformation into the true form. So that's what I'm going to mark it as. As much as I'd like it to be a TTY, it is not a TTY. And that looks like it. So we have a 2F here, but it's not... it's not something that was directly created by Olrox. It's possible that the portal creates it, and it's related to the portal. We don't know yet. So let's see. I think the bat or the after image. The after image should be straightforward, and my guess is that it would be similar, to the a la carte after image. So let's look at that one, and we'll see what we can do. We can start decompiling these now because the rest is should be checked in shortly. So we're going to grab that file. It's pretty short. M2C may be able to do this one for us. We'll see. So we want the PlayStation version. We do want to use the Symphony of the Night. And it did work out to decompile the whole thing for us, which is nice. Let's find the PSP version and see if we have all the ordering right. Usually what happens is GCC will reorder these fields to something that it thinks is a little more optimal. And it might have been good to start with that to begin with. And so yeah, we have things in the wrong order. So let's go and start fixing those. Should be pretty straightforward. SP10, we don't need a separate stack pointer for that. So we are just going to replace that with the R itself and get rid of that argument. And, oh, actually everything is in the right order. We just have to do a not step and a not opacity. And so what's happening here is we're starting off. What's interesting is something else is doing the increment of the step. This is going to be an init. And init is an array type. So this checks for whether or not we're in step 0 or not. Excuse me. But something else outside of this is responsible for incrementing it. And if we look at which one that was, that's 2C. So we can go back over here and look for unknown 2C. So it gets created, it's set to facing left. And what I was hoping to see is something that either stores this pointer or loads it elsewhere. I'm not sure what is incrementing that entity. So we go to step 3. It looks like I'm not sure about that. But so we have specific frames that are pulled out to do something slightly different. We go up to step or case 3 when this is over. What I wanted to see is there anything within case 3 that is dealing with it at all. There are things outside of an entity that will increment its step. I don't always know what those are, though, which can be hard to find. There definitely is not a strong separation of concerns in this code. One thing, though, looking at this, it looks like this is a check for possibly the Auroch state change. Right now, in enemy defs, we have offset 50 as hit points, and we should have offset 50 should be Aurochs. Let me see if I can find where that is. There is a big array, basically, of these, yeah, contiguous. And which of these fields is hit points? Who knows? But here it is, offset 32, which is Aurochs. I'm not sure if there's an enum somewhere that goes with that. Let's look for that. We're going to look for enemy defs. It's going to be, I think, in game.h. I would think that there would be a array for this, but it looks like not. That might be a good thing to add going through. Anyway, so we have some more information there. Oh no, we're in offline mode. Looks like we're so back. So we've corrected this. We'll take it over here just to make sure that everything works, and of course it does. We should be able to integrate this code now into my local repo. Hey Volto, good to have you back. And this should build. We don't have any jump tables or anything funny, no strings or RO data. Let's look at where this is in the PSP version. And that should also give us some hints as to whether or not these splits are close. It looks like this isn't quite the same. Not at the same file offsets. But that works fine as well. So, without knowing a little bit more about what these other functions are yet, without having them been given symbols, not clear whether or not this is part of the same file or not. But I think that's all we're going to do today. Name some symbols. I got a real simple function and didn't actually have to do much work at all. And you can go to soten.z.dev to learn more, and I'll be back next week. Have fun decompiling and have fun storming the castle. Adios.